So my friend asked me to make a video on how to grind RoboBear Robo Challenge efficiently for drives. So I am a level 20 RoboBear Challenge Hive. I I do only have 275 white drives, but with the methods that I'll be showing in this video, I've grinded 80 in about 2-ish hours. So the first major tip I have is actually to have an alt account farming in rows or any field that you have that's, in the quests. I just choose rows because it's so close to RoboBear, and the faster you get the quest done, the more cogs you get for the speed bonus. I will make a video on how to make an alt efficiently and the macros I use to run the alt and all of that. But this is for RoboBear mainly. So when I'm in the challenge, I prioritize my bees like so. I choose event bees like Bee Bear and Tabby and Vicious Bee, and Digital Bee over all of the other bees. Then it goes to Precise Bees because of their crazy gather, or their crazy pollen gather from their targets, and Spicy Bees for the attack, Vectors for the marks. So I have like a fairly even number of Vectors and Precise Bees and less Spicies, but that'll change right here. And you can see here that I have two tadpole bees, which is kind of weird because I want to prioritize attack in the first couple of rounds, but I actually chose these because of the baby love for the increased pollen collection. Here you see I've already chosen the credit upgrade. This was earlier on, and the crypto upgrade earlier on. I chose these for the cogs per round. Typically I'd recommend only getting the ones that have more than one cogs per round. That typically has the highest return on investment. So you see here, I am in rows. I actually have the field boosted, which is significant. You actually should use all the field boosters in the Red HQ and Mountaintop before you start the round, and Glitter too, of course. Also, don't feel bad about using red extracts and glues and whatnots, because the rewards outweigh failing, You need to get to high round to get all those drives. Furthermore, one thing that I do that might be like you might not know yet is when say you're in a high round and you're about to die, and you have all of these white drives that you've been saving up, and you're about to die, and oh no, next round maybe you don't get Digital Bee. So what I do is I pop a white drive, okay? Pop one, or a blue drive, or whatever drive you're grinding, and you pop it, and you reset, and that like basically resets the drive cooldown when you can use it again. So you can just pop multiple drives in one round versus not being able to because the game limits you. Another tip I have is to switch your tools and masks to the color of the fields that you are going to be grinding in. So for example, maybe you're Blue Hive and you have to gather in red. I'd grab the Demon Mask real quick. Or maybe you're red and you're having to gather in white. I'd grab the Gummy Mask and Gummy Baller, or all the tools related to the color. That's only if you're on a high round though, because that's when it makes the biggest difference. Now, as you can see, I'm on round 10 here, which is you're gonna get the cog mowers, which is gonna be fairly difficult for me actually because I haven't been focusing on my attack. Regardless, I have a tip for this. If I were you, I would focus on gathering the pollen first, because when you die, your bees have to sleep and, go back to hive, and, it's just delayed. So avoiding your death at all costs allows you to, avoid failing the round based off of, dying. So I'd save the cog mowers for last. Something else that I have as advice is to pop stingers only one stinger though per round, because you pop a stinger on round 10, okay? You have to deal a ton of damage here. Pop another stinger on what? Maybe later in this round. Then you have Star Saw round 15, you know? And it didn't cost anything. In round 15, you have the Mega Mosquitoes, which, you know, I actually struggle with for the attack. Otherwise, I don't think I have many other tips other than, like, take your alt to the field that you're struggling with that round. Like, say you have to gather a billion pollen spider, you know, if I were you, I'd move your alt to spider. Also, if you are grinding in, hold on, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, another tip I have for you is if you do end up dying in one of these rounds, you should immediately pop a whirligig right here, so your bees, like, they teleport back to your hive, so it reduces the cooldown on when they return to the field and help you. But otherwise, that's probably the biggest tip I have, other than prioritizing getting digital bee. Like, digital bee has to be the one bee that you must get. If there's any other option, go for digital bee. It's the most significant. Otherwise, I'll make a tutorial on my Robo Challenge hive and my amulets and all the macros I've used in another video. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps. Adios.